Pencil power. Why, hello there, art adventurers. Today we are going to be drawing the structure of the leg. I'm going to do a couple more videos on the legs because I don't want to get too much into like the bones and the connection points and stuff in this, because if we do, we're going to end up with a very long and complex video, and my goal in this video is not to make things long and complex, but actually to show you the simplest way that you can break down the structure of the legs to get all the muscles in place and to get a pretty realistic looking legs, all the little tips and tricks that'll help with that, to keep it as simple as possible without, sacrificing anything major in terms of like getting your realistic legs drawn. So we're going to draw the legs from front, side, and back view. And to start off with, we're going to lay down a very simple structure. So the first thing to do is to set in your a circle for your pelvis. So this is going to represent the hips. So for a female, you might want to make it wider, but this is basically what would contain this whole structure of the pelvic bone. This isn't, but we're just going to represent it with a circle and a couple landmarks. So there's two ways you can do the landmarks, but really I like to start with the circle and then do two evenly lengthed, roughly evenly lengthed, almost like teardrop shapes. See how it's like pointier at the bottom and wider at the top, and the top overlaps the form before it. So if I was to continue, this would be like that. But you can also just think of them as pointy U shapes. So you make a circle and you do like two pointy U's. All right, something like that. Even that's as simple as that will get you started on the right foot. What a clever pun. So creating these pointy U shapes, and then I'm going to use the method I use for placing in the foot structure, which I made a different video about, just at the bottom there. So this is going to give you the start. The next thing is from here to about here, creating like this underwear shape. And also, or if you watch the like full body structure drawing video, I do something like this, where it's kind of like the underwear shape, but it shows just a little bit of the two sides, and you can fit the legs right in there. Fit beautifully and comfortably in there. So either way will work. But I'm going to keep it simple with this method right now, because that's, I think, I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible to make it digestible for you guys. So now that you've got this down here, we're pretty much like, now we just got to do the fill in the blanks. So you know that the knees are going to be right around here. One thing we're going to do is to start off with, we're going to want to put the quadricep muscles in. So we're going to take these 2 points right here, and there's this tendon that goes and it wraps all the way around the knee, like so. So I'm going to show you maybe like 2 different ways to do things, and you can choose the way you prefer. So this is the first way. You do this, and then on the other side, it's going to be, you're going to want a angle like this. So there's one quadricep muscle that comes in right here, one that's upper up here, and then the third one, I don't know where the fourth is because it's supposed to be quad, but you basically see 3 in the front. So what we're doing is we're going to imagine we have that up here, and see how this kind of comes to a point right there. The other point is going to want to be up higher, somewhere in that area. So already we've got like 90% of the upper leg done, because we're just going to connect from this point. So there's a little gap here. We're going to connect from that point. That's going to give us our abductor, I think. And then I think adductor is on this side. And then we're just going to put a little line there, which is going to be representative of like the gluteus medius or whatever side muscles are there. So just keeping it simple. And then we've got the knee, right? There's going to be a little space on either side of it. And then we're going to come down to the lower leg. So here you want this, it's not really the bone, it's actually like a tendon in front, I think, but I think it's better than representing the bone that goes down into the inner ankle. So see, it comes from the knee and it comes down to the inside ankle. So if these were the legs, these would both come meeting towards the middle. And then I sometimes like to just go like this, inside ankle all the way to the foot. So that can be a little trick, and I'll show you right here over here. So it comes to the inside ankle, and then this comes down into the foot, and then the other ankle is lower. So you see how that naturally kind of almost creates that second, this angle that's very important. And you're gonna have the opposite angle, and I've seen a meme that tells you to remember this is like an angry face. So you're always upset. So you can remember that the angles are opposite, because on this side we're going to have the same up and down angle like this. So you can just put in a circle for the calf, and then make a little band here, and then it comes and connects. And on this side it just basically puffs out and follows the general shape that you've created with that first tendon that goes from the knee to the inside ankle. And so right here we've already gotten one leg set up really nicely. And that's pretty much all we're going to do. So on this side I thought I'd show a different method where you can just take this shape. It's a pretty particular shape, but like imagine, you know, what we've learned where this is higher and this is lower, and just kind of pop that in there right above the knee. Right? And then you've already got, then you connect the two sides here. You've already got the leg, and you can use two shapes like this. I don't know how you'd, so coming up from the knee and spreading out on both sides, right, is going to show you these two muscles, 1, 2, and then the third muscle is going to be laying in right there. And the third muscle is usually the one that you actually see a little bit more defined in the form. So if you're, after you put in the structure and you're like doing the line art or whatever, you're aligning it, lining it, is that what people call it? Inking it. Then you can, you know, put this in lightly and be like, okay, this is where that big quadricep muscle is, you know, and that'll show that it's like a stronger, you know, more defined leg muscle. And then again, you can come in here, you can do that, this whole line right here to get the ankle and the foot in. You can also just put two lines in like that around where you think it is, and then connect it over here. And that's basically it. You've got your legs defined in, like the structure put in from front view. I just want to show it like this, so you can see that's more of a structural representation. Cool. So let's move on to the, let's go ahead and do the side, and then we'll do the front last. So the side is actually where the pelvis, we're not going to have it as wide. It's going to be pretty much a circle from the side view. And the biggest trick is put a little circle inside the middle, and then there's a tendon that goes down the side of the leg, but we're going to have it go all the way down to the bottom. So divide this into two sections roughly. Bring it all the way down to the bottom, and go ahead and put your foot in. So you can go right through the middle of that heel of the foot, right? Something like that. So what the biggest trick is that most of the mass of the thing is going to go here. There's going to be a knee, right? So we'll put in the knee, and then on the back you're going to have the calves coming around there and sweep in, right? So doing this, you've already got a balanced leg, more or less. So this is like, that's the easiest trick to keep things going from side view. So for the calves, you know, this is going to actually sweep back. So there's this S shape. Oops, a subtle kind of S shape here, or a curve. You can do like a U shape for the calf. Bring it in like that. You're going to have the ankle bone, and then boom. Here from behind, you're going to have three muscles coming around this round point in the middle. So gluteus, it's going to kind of have something going on like that. I think this is maybe the gluteus medius, I'm not actually sure. Okay. That'll be for the next video where I go into all the different muscle names and insertions and connections. I'll get the muscles right. And then this, see how it has a tilt, like an inward tilt like that. And that's going to help you get that. And I think this is called the pubic mound or something like that, where it kind of puffs out a little bit and then it goes in. Okay, cool. And then for the quadricep, or for the hamstrings in the back, you know, give a little space here. You got a little square kind of area for the knee, and just connecting it in like that. And that's ultimately just going to give you what you need for the side view of the leg. You can have, you know, the back would come up like this with a latissimus, but I don't want to go into all that right now. And then there's like, all right, but just so you can see what's going on here. And then here's just so you can see we've got, you know, the abs are going to come in. This is the whole ab area. You've got these obliques, and then you've got some, you know, connecting muscles on the ribs and everything like that. And that's how that would connect. Cool, so we've done the front and the side view already. Now to finish off with the back view. So we're going to start it off like the front view, same, you know, size thing and same pointy, like U-shaped teardrop, like elongated teardrop type things. And then we'll put the feet in, and this is going to actually go up because we're standing on a plane like that, more like that. So this is going to go up and be covered up. This is going to go above that, connect, and then cover it up. So that'll give us a basic idea of what we're, you know, a basic outline for what we're working with. So one of the main landmarks we can start with is like a V shape. Okay, this is actually going to go up into the lats, latissimus dorsi, and connect with the obliques there. So, but actually before that, let's put in our shape here, but we're going to keep this one wider than it was in the first thing. So instead of having it thin down here like that, actually see how we're keeping it wide here, and put that in lightly. That'll show you where the obliques connect and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So the interesting thing is that this part of the back is a little bit tricky, but it's not too bad. The main landmark is this. The glutes kind of do this. I actually found out the glutes are the delts of the feet. You don't know what that means, then don't worry about it. But the deltoid, like the shoulder muscles, they have a similar shape. If you draw an arm, it has a similar shape. You see, this is the deltoid over here, if you can see what I'm drawing. Okay, so it has that kind of a shape, and it plugs in not all the way on the edge. There's a little bit of a gap here because there's a muscle that comes, you can even put a little circle there and have, this is part of that little tendon on the side. Okay, so that's going to kind of holding the legs in place there. You've got the glutes going like this, and you've got that on the outside. And let's put a little bit of a little diamond in here to help us out. There's a little diamond shape right behind the knees. And from here, you've got the hamstrings coming up and attaching to a point around here. See where we drew this this shape on this corner right here? Somewhere around there, these hamstrings are going to come up and roughly connecting around there. And they're going to actually wrap around this diamond shape on the knee. And then you just connect these two so you can see these guys from the back. Over here, we're looking at that from the back, connecting in. And you've gotten the upper, this is all we're going to do for the upper legs. You've kind of gotten that part set in. You can see how the rest kind of fits together. The last thing you might want to add is the kind of like the fattier part of the glutes. So if you just see it's like following this line, but just kind of, you know, rounding it off, then you'll get an idea of how the, you know, the glutes hang there. And then also shading in the parts here will give you an idea of like a tighter, more muscular gluteus. Okay, cool. And then for this part, we've got the same angles that we've got here, right? But they're still going to be angry. And so the inside of them will be lower. And so I kind of like to like decide, okay, here and here. And there's a little like U shape almost. So I just kind of use a shape like this, right? I just kind of put the shape right in. But if you wanted to, you could do it to start off with as a triangle, something like that, and then just round it. Okay? Or you could even do 2 circles and connect them like that until you get used to the shape. And then from there, right in that gap in the middle, you just have 2 tapering lines coming down all the way to the ankles. And remember that the angry face is like that. He's frowning. So the inside of the ankle is higher than the outside. So we'll just put that in like that. And you've pretty much finished off the bottom. So I'll do this side how I would normally do it. Just kind of creating a shape like this. And this actually plugs into this diamond. They actually separate though. So it does create the diamond. But I don't want to get into too much little details like that, but you can just use the diamond and continuing down, create that taper, and there's a little bit of muscles and stuff on the outside. So it's not just the taper, it does come out from here pretty much, and then the ankle is higher on the inside than the outside, and you've basically finished it up. That's it. Now you've got the leg from behind view. So that's it. So we've got the leg from front, side, and behind. We've put the structure in. And from here, you know, if you have a good feeling of muscular anatomy and you want to put in all the details, you can do that. Or if you are, you know, just putting some clothes on the purple, then you can go like this and you got pants. But we'll save all of that for a future video. And that's it. I hope that this has unlocked some just a little bit more of your pencil power. Still working on the outro.